have 8 under contract right now and 4 listings coming soon.
It's like Levi's getting 29,000 views every month, hasn't posted in 3 months.
Your business can just explode. I mean, like,
I just closed a $3 million condo last month.
This Levi guy is effing awesome. Like, I love what he's doing. Like,
And they just keep coming in like
in audio. In audio.
so for people in the audience, as it's kicking off, what kind of happened was Levi came up on our mastermind, and we host something on separately, and we post the videos on YouTube. And then Trevor sent me an email all like enthusiastic, like, this Levi guy is effing awesome. Like, I love what he's doing. And I'm like, I know you have some people that like agents you work with, Trevor. Do you want him to come speak? And he's like, yes. So, I'm super excited to see this come together. And yeah, I see we got a lot of people coming through. So this is awesome.
great. So here we are here Wednesday afternoon. A couple weeks ago, Ryan had a mastermind through a lot of his groups that he works with, and I came across this video of Levi, and I'm talking about his YouTube videos and how great it works, easy, and everything's just, leads are rolling in, and it's like something you shouldn't be scared of. And I think a lot of us look at YouTube, and we get nervous, we get confused, we overthink everything. And Levi is just a guy who says, don't overthink anything, just turn the video on and start rolling. And you don't need fancy software, you don't need all this like expensive stuff to work with. And so we connected a few weeks ago, we had a couple emails back and forth, and so I'm blown away at some of his stats. So he's averaging about 2,000 hours of watch time on his channel every 2 days, about 30,000 hours of watch time a month. He's in Pensacola, Florida.
Yep.
And I think, like, you maybe have like what, 25, 30 videos on there?
40. I think I've got 40.
40 videos. And he's not like making a video every day. He's making videos that are quality and putting them out. And that's more important than cranking out a video every day, I think. So I'm just going to let Levi jump right in here, because I've got the notes I took from our call this morning are lengthy. So I think it's way better to have it come from the horse's mouth. So folks, let's turn things on to sunny Florida and let Levi roll.
Well, thank you, Trevor. Yeah, man, I'm excited to be here. Excited to share kind of what's changed my career, and that being YouTube. That's what we're going to talk about today. A little bit about me. I won't talk long about like my backstory, but I mean, I've been in real estate for almost 7 years now, and I've always done pretty well for myself. I've been a top producer, but I did a lot of old school traditional stuff, just classic prospecting that, we all get burnt out on: cold calling, door knocking, mailers. I ran Facebook leads. I ended up, in the last few years, I was paying a lead company $1,000 a month in leads, and then having to call all those leads. So I feel like I've done a lot of that stuff that we're all trained to do. $1 Million Real Estate Agent book, Keller Williams, blah, blah, blah. And somehow I kind of stumbled across YouTube. I've always been a YouTube consumer. I look up everything on YouTube, how to do things. And I knew the power of video was there, but I just never started. And I think a lot of us have that, just like we want to do something, but we just never take the action. And so there's two people that I would actually share with you guys that I feel like I owe a lot of credit to. One of the guys' name is actually, he has my same first name. His name's Levi Lassick. You can look him up on YouTube. He also has a channel called Passive Prospecting. And he's in Texas. And in his first year in real estate, brand new agent, he did $1 million in gross commission income from YouTube solely. And so I feel like I was just blown away by that. And you're not talking about real estate, which is kind of the most crazy part about it. You're not selling yourself. You're just showing people what they want to see. Another channel is called Channel Junkies, and it's another guy that teaches basically YouTube for real estate. They like really dive into actually how to make videos and what to talk about and topics and things like that. But when I saw the power of it, I just kind of got obsessed with the idea. I was like, I know this can work, and you don't have to overcomplicate it. Put yourself in the shoes of a consumer. We all use YouTube, right? Like, we all look up cities, things to do, how to fix a car, whatever it is. Like, we use YouTube. It's search based because it's owned by Google. And so it's unlike any other social media platform. Um, it's just about the search algorithm. And so people are typing in top neighborhoods in Vermont, or pros and cons of living in Pensacola, Florida, um, why you should not move here. Like, they're searching those things, and you can create a video that touches on those topics. You give value, and then they're going to consume it, and it lasts forever. I think that was the biggest takeaway for me, is that it's evergreen content. So with Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, every other social media platform, basically a post is born and it dies within maybe 48 hours, maybe a week if you're lucky. And then it's all about new content. You have to be so consistent, because old content just fades away. That's the way the algorithm works on all those platforms. Again, with YouTube, it's search based. So if you make good video that gives people what they want, it can last for 10 years. I mean, it never goes away. And we all see that, right? We search things and you see a video that's 5 years old and it's still doing great because it gives people what they want. So my first video I think I ever did was just pros and cons of living in Pensacola. And, I did kind of bullet points, but I'm not super scripted. The way I see it is, like, if somebody called me or I was in front of a buyer or seller, I could ramble on. We could all probably talk about our city, or our neighborhoods, and people, in my opinion, attract to that, the kind of the organic part of that. And so you're just being authentic, you're being real. So a lot of times I'm just kind of rambling, and just talking about, again, I'll have bullet points, but I'm talking about the good things and I'm talking about the bad things. And you have to understand how many people are always relocating to states, cities, and for jobs, for marriage, for inheritance. Like, they'll always be coming and relocating. And so that video did well. And then I did a couple others. I did like a top neighborhoods video. I have done, and I live in an area where I cover kind of a couple different little cities. They all like touch together. But you're just giving value to people, and they consume the content like crazy. That's what else is powerful about it, is it's long form content. So I can ramble in front of the camera like I am now for 10, 15 minutes, and then I'm putting footage on top of what I'm talking about. So it's not just my face the whole time. People want to see visually the city. They want to see what it's all about. And I think that's what's given me so much success, is just showing the city. I never talk about real estate, really, besides maybe my neighborhood videos. I'm really just talking about good food, things to do, what not to do. And so that's kind of how the algorithm works.
And that's
And I
kind of
guess,
a big difference from regular social media, whereas realtors are putting out how awesome we were last week, how many closings we just had. I just had this great listing.
right,
This sale. I mean, I'm guilty of it, like we all are, because it's easy to just crank out a bunch of easy videos and TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or stories. And the only thing we do is, hey, look at me, I'm awesome. And that's like typically about it, but that's not really educating anybody. And that's what the consumer wants.
yeah,
Can I jump in? Like you said, Trevor, it's sometimes you view, like you said, you jump on TikTok, it's a 60-second clip, but if you're what I want to kind of hit on and emphasize with Levi, what makes him so amazing and what makes me and Trevor so passionate about, anytime we hear him talk, is the simplicity behind it. Because you might hear, oh, I've done 40 videos, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm, have all these ideas, I'm going around the town. But the reality is it's just on his iPhone. He's filming it on his iPhone and he's
Incredible.
editing it on iMovie, and he's doing the thumbnails on some random phone app. And it's like, you could just be out showing houses. A client could leave early and you could film it right there and you could be 15 minutes in and out. But I just want to hit
Yeah.
on that.
No, I appreciate that, Ryan, because I guess that is the truth is like, I don't have a production company. Um, I use iMovie because it's free. And honestly, there's way better editing programs like, but I just haven't paid for it. I use my iPhone because it can film great. And most of the time, the footage that I'm getting that I will put over what I'm talking about is just like living life. Go to the farmer's market on the weekend. Obviously, we go to the beaches. I live in a beach town. There's parades, like all the fun stuff that would draw people in, like the lifestyle. You want to just show that. We go out to eat all the time, and I'll like, you know, take the embarrassing video of my food. Um, but that's it. And I just have so much B-roll, what we call it, on my phone that I will just throw over whatever I'm talking about. And it's just incredible, like how strong it works. And to give you guys an idea, I pretty much am doing zero other prospecting. I have eliminated paying $1,000 a month in leads. I do not cold call anybody anymore. I have not really sent out any mailers. I am so busy from just YouTube that I haven't put out a video in 2 months, maybe longer, because I'm so swamped. I have, and this is not like a brag, this is just to show you the power of YouTube. I have 8 under contract right now and 4 listings coming soon. And the emails and the calls keep coming in. And I think that's the other thing that really blew me away was the type of lead is extremely warm. For 7 years in real estate, I was chasing people down, trying to convince them to work with me, trying to earn their business. These people call you or email you and like tell you their whole life story. They tell you how they want to work with you. Do you have time for me? Like, it's crazy, the shift in the type of leads. And I think that's what makes it so powerful. Um, I'm going to show you guys my analytics if you want, or like my channel real quick. And
Yeah.
I'm probably all over the place.
I
So
just want to
stop
add
me.
real fast. If anyone has, I know Trevor put it in the Zoom thing, but emphasize if anyone has any questions, if you're just listening on your phone, any specific topics, anything that isn't clear to you, make sure to, toss those in the chat and we'll get around to them. So
Cool. Yeah. I ramble. So
yeah.
guide me, change me, stop
Now
me.
let's see these analytics, man. Let's go.
All right. So this is my channel. The other thing to keep in mind is you don't need millions of subscribers, right? If you look at this is my subscriber count. If you look at that, you'd probably be like, oh, that's not even that much. It's not. The reality is you don't need a bunch of subscribers. Most of these people are going to consume your content for a month or two as they're thinking about moving to the area, reach out, and you're doing a deal in 30 to 90 days. After you do the deal, most of these people are never going to watch your channel again. Like, it's not, you don't have to have this crazy amount of subscribers. The view count is more important, but I have got, yeah, 40 videos, I think, total. And here's the last 28 days.
Insane.
I gotta jump in real fast. This is crazy. So in
Right?
the past 28 days, you haven't posted in 3 months. In the past 28 days, 29,000 people that are interested in Pensacola, Florida have watched you. That
Yeah,
is effing gnarly. I didn't know
that's
that. That's crazy.
I think that's what's so powerful about this is, like I said, I'm not prospecting, but if you see here, every 48 hours, it's about like that, close to 2,000 views every 2
Oh
days.
my
And,
gosh.
and it goes up on the weekends. The weekends surge like crazy. That's when most people are sitting down on their TV and watching. And
You
so
couldn't
while
make
I'm
2,000
sleeping,
calls. You couldn't make
right?
2,000 calls in 2 days if you tried. If you worked 24 hours straight and calling every time zone, you'd be hard pressed to make 2,000 calls and connect with people on a reasonable level.
Yep. And I mean, it's like it's working right now. You know what I mean? And that's what's powerful about it.
It's working right now. You're on here with us and you're getting leads right now.
Yeah, it's insane. And just, I mean, I guess I'll show you guys. Y'all are welcome to go creep on my channel all you want. I guess I could show you, like, let me skip this.
No ad blocker, man.
No, I'm cheapskate, man.
No, you
So
got it down on uBlock, man. It's right through.
So this is the style of videos that I shoot. It's just, I'm telling you, I do all this on iMovie. It's a little time consuming to make the video, but to me, it's worth it because then it lasts forever. I'd rather spend a little bit more time up front on creating the video and knowing that it will just continue to work. Most
I
of my
want to
videos are 10 minutes, maybe.
I want to add something. There was that drone shot in the beginning, and I was talking about equipment in the beginning. What is that? You got it's like a cheap drone, right? And then you got a drone's license for like $100 or so, or what does that kind of look like?
Yeah, so I did decide to get a drone. Everything else I pretty much shoot on my phone. I got, it's called a DJI Mavic Mini,
Yeah,
and it's about $300,
yeah,
maybe 350. It's all you need. There's like $3,000, $4,000 drones.
yeah.
I've been doing this a year. I still haven't upgraded. It works. It's really easy to fly too, by the way. Don't feel like you have to be techie or an expert. Like it's super,
Yeah.
it just goes up, it goes over, goes down, and you have a little control.
And you're
So
only pulling a couple seconds of video for each clip that you're actually using. So you could film for 10 minutes and then just pull the best little 5-second clip you need.
I think I knew that this would work because, like, when let's say me and my wife go on vacation, Trevor, I was telling you this earlier. Like, I do the same thing. We look up what's the top 10 things to do, or like where should you visit, where should you vacation, and people just want to visually see the city. It's so much value for them, especially when they're, people get job relocations to places and they've never been there. So you're like just giving them so much value up front. And then they learn to like you and trust you when they consume a bunch of the content. Um, it's pretty wild.
Now, how would you say that the connection is happening the most? So, like, obviously, you've got a video and it's great, people watch it. Whereas, like, we spoke to you this morning, you said, "Hey, I just got off the phone with somebody who's $1 million buyer. They're coming in a couple of weeks." They called me. Like, how does that connection happen from watching the video to actually getting in touch with you? Is there a Facebook group or a page, or everything pretty much housed out of YouTube?
Yeah, pretty much it's on YouTube. So the funny thing is, and this is what I was talking about, is that like I don't try to sell myself. I go straight to the content because that's what people want. And people have no patience. So if you start the video off about, oh, I'm so and so, this is what I've done, you should work with me, they'll click off. So I go straight into the city, the things. I don't even say my name until typically the end of the video. Um, and so people will then watch my next video and then my next video. But at the very end, I basically just say, hey, my name's Levi Fortner. I'm a local realtor, by the way. If you need anything at all, I'd love to be a resource for you. Give me a call, text, or an email, and I throw it up on the screen. But I also have it in the description, like right here. There's my website, and then of course my cell phone and my email.
Now,
And so I definitely
is there a
go ahead.
magic secret sauce into making this the description section? Is there a format you follow? Because obviously this looks pretty normal, and I'm like, yeah, just click on here and call the guy. Like, is there anything that you kind of research to find to make a better option here for the details?
This honestly is not the biggest part of the algorithm. Like, you just kind of want to use some keywords in here, the city, what you're talking about. But this is not really what's going to help the video all that much. So there are two components to the YouTube algorithm to like make your videos do really well. And it is the click-through rate, aka the thumbnail. So this picture here, and the title, because again, it's search-based. And then also the engagement, meaning people are going to watch the video for longer than 60 seconds. So as far as the thumbnail goes, I have edited them a lot of myself. um, let's see here, I'll show you a couple of them. But like this video, for instance, the Orange Beach, Alabama, I sent that off to fiverr.com and paid somebody $10 to make that because they're better than me, right? I'm not
That was the thumbnail, which looks great.
yeah. I made a couple of these on an app on my phone. I'll show you what it is. But the thumbnail's the first one. because if YouTube's trying to promote your video, right, you have the best video in the world, but it has nobody's clicking on it, YouTube will eventually stop pushing it because they're trying to get it out there, but nobody's clicking on it. So the thumbnail and the title are the first key. And then the second key is, again, the engagement. How long are people averagely watching your videos? And that's why I talk about in the very beginning of my video, I'm not talking about myself. I'm not doing a 30-second ramble about who I am and what I've done and blah. Nobody cares about that, because they don't know me. They don't want me to sell myself. They just want to see the city. Now, after they watch 10 minutes or watch 2 or 3 of my videos, they kind of naturally maybe like the content. And at that point, they're learning who you are. And again, at the very end of the video, you're giving a little shout out about yourself.
Right, because like a 1 minute story on Instagram or Facebook or whatever isn't going to give the viewer enough information to want to even reach out. They're just going to go to the next video to see what else they can find out about that location or city or town. Whereas you're coming in saying, here's a feet on the ground, regular person walking down the street, walking to the restaurants type of thing, just like they are, so they can relate probably a little better to you than they can to my Instagram video of me holding up a sign. I just closed. Yeah, I'm number one. Like it's
Right.
the big difference there is I think that people want to have that engagement from a person who's not shouting real estate at them. I think as agents, we call commission breath. Like we're always looking for the sale. We're always asking, do you want to buy or sell? Do you want to invest? How's it going to real estate? What do you want to do? And I think this type of video is just it seems to be it's a backwards thinking for most realtors. Why would I spend
Yeah.
10 minutes on YouTube and not talk about myself? What's wrong with me? That's kind of crazy. But you're saying really that's you want to be in that department of not talking about yourself, showcasing the town, and the
Yeah.
longer content video keeps them engaged, which gets your viewing in the algorithm pushed higher.
Yeah. I think we naturally, as realtors, like, want to sugarcoat everything. We want to make everything seem magical and perfect. But actually, some of the best feedback I've gotten and why people reach out sometimes is because they tell me that I seem sincere and like honest and like a normal person that lives in the city. And I talk about bad things. Like, I do a pros and cons video, guys. I talk about real issues, why you wouldn't want to live here. Uh, for here, that's hurricanes, it's insurance. There's homeless people in our city, not like crazy amount, but like it's a reality. And if you're not here telling them that up front, whether they decide to move here or not, they're going to be like, you seem like you would actually help me down the line. I know I could probably trust you when it does come time to buy the house. And so, yeah, the feedback is awesome. And it's
I
just
got
for me
a
being,
I'm sorry. I got a question from a real estate agent asking it. I was jumping on what you're talking about, like pros and cons. Do you ever find an issue of, hey, like a fine line between this could be steering, like could a real estate agent, they might end up thinking, they might end up avoiding this whole thing just because they think there's going to be a problem with it. Do you is there like a fine line between that, or do you kind of just keep it civil, or how do you view that?
well, for steering, yeah, the hardest part is probably I get a lot of where should I not live?
Yeah.
That's the hardest question that you will ever get. And I just kind of tell people, like, look, I can tell you the areas that I suggest are good. I'm not
Yeah.
going to tell you
Okay.
where you shouldn't live. You've got to do kind of your own research. And I'll tell them, like, I legally can't really say,
Yeah.
I can't push you away from somewhere. The other thing, too, about that is like everyone's threshold is so different. I've have people that will look in areas and love it that I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, that's not my favorite side of town, but you don't care.
Yeah.
So, like, never have that prejudgment. But as far as like, if I'm talking about the city, things like insurance, hurricanes, that's like real stuff. And people have a lot of questions about that in Florida. So I'm just honest. I've lived here my whole life, so I can relate about it. And I tell them that you can always twist something in a good way, right?
Yeah.
Like when it comes to hurricanes, sure, they're real, they're here, but it's maybe the price of living in paradise with beaches. And you usually have plenty of heads up. I've never lost a house or anything crazy like that. Um, so it's a little give and take. And anywhere you move in the country probably has some issues.
Good.
So it,
Yeah. So for anyone listening and you hear Levi talk about the pros and cons multiple times, do not let that stop you from making the damn videos. So
We're overthinking all this as real
yeah,
estate agents. I mean,
yeah.
just the fact that he's doing this, going to iMovie, which everybody has for free for the most part, unless you're one of those Android weirdos, when they're out there. You know, it really, it kind of blows me away because I watched some of your videos when I first came across you a few weeks ago through Ryan. I clicked on your page, watched a few of your videos. The thumbnails are, like you said, they're awesome, and the title's great. Then it gets to the video, I'm like, this is just a regular guy. He's just out here talking about his town. He loves it. He loves his town. He's passionate about it. He doesn't have, you know, there's not guys following him around like Gary Vee with cameras and microphones. He's just chatting it up, and the thing's got 37,000 views. So, you know, that is, we're way overthinking all this as agents. So, Levi, if you were able to just kind of, you know, you 7 years in the business, and then a year ago, you're like, I want to get in on video. You're doing calls, you're making all this prospecting. What was that first like 60 days like? So we talked about that this morning a little bit. You know, just go over that so people can understand the process and what they can expect.
So yeah, I definitely somehow knew, like I believed in it when I decided something
You
clicked.
believed it. That was one thing this morning we were talking. You kept saying, I believed it would work. And that,
Yeah.
again, we have to believe it. But you're like, I believe this will work, and you stuck with it.
Part of it is the guy that I threw out earlier, Levi Lassick. I'll give him
Yeah.
a lot of credit
Yeah.
because when I heard he did $1 million gross commission income, and he's in a bigger city than me, he's in Texas where it's like just booming. But he was a brand new agent. He didn't even know, like, he didn't have the experience that probably half of us have on writing contracts. He did the same exact formula. He just started showing the city. Um, but anyways, it takes a little bit of time to get going. So don't expect like you make your first video and all of a sudden, you're just inundated with leads. Thing is, you want to have a few videos because people will consume one, and if they like it, they'll go to the next one, and you'll start popping up. So it took about, I think, 30 days maybe. I put out like 2 videos, and I got my first call, which that was like, whoa, this works. This is crazy. It was a warm call.
Straight up phone call right to your phone.
Oh yeah, all the time. My phone just goes off, and people reach out all different ways. That's why I do phone, text, or email because everybody has their preferred method. I'll get long emails, but sometimes people just call me straight up and or text. And the guy was really nice. I don't even think he panned out to be a real deal, but he's like, I was watching your videos and I thought you could help me and answer some questions. And that's usually kind of how it goes. But you get all time, like a lot of them are close. They call you and they're like 30 to 60 days out. I've had people call me, that told me they've been watching me for 4 months and now they're ready to go. So it's definitely just keeps churning. And to give you an idea, like the level of leads are kind of all over the place, and you can make the videos cater to, whether you want it to be sort of higher end, whatever. I get low end leads and I get high end leads. I just closed a $3 million condo last month in Orange Beach, Alabama, from YouTube. Guy owns a doctor practice in Wyoming, and he grew up here, and he just called me from YouTube. Huge sale.
So
And
even
I've got,
even locals like that grew up there are still finding you. It's not
Right.
just people interested in the area. That's
so,
big.
okay, that was one of my other favorite things actually about this is that if you're shy, if you like don't like to put yourself out there, the thing is only people are going to find this that are searching it. Your friends, your family will likely never see this. Um, they just won't because it's not going to come up. So it's funny because people call me and they're like, oh, you're like a local celebrity, which I don't feel that way at all. I'm just a guy with a selfie stick walking around. But the people here in the city, like most people don't necessarily even know that I do this. Other realtors I work with don't necessarily know because they live here. They're not typing in Pensacola pros and cons. So it's just people from around the country, even out of the country. But they feel like you're this super authentic authority locally.
And it's not just buyers. Like we were talking this morning, you actually got some listing calls. They were 2 hours from where you were, and you were able to attract some agents over to your team by
Yeah,
offering out some leads.
yeah. So it's definitely mostly buyer oriented. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of people relocating. I live in a place where there's a lot of people buying secondary and vacation homes, but I also get a lot of people getting relocated for jobs or just want to retire here. They've always dreamed about it. But what you get out of that is a lot of referrals. So all those people, they're selling their home from wherever they're coming from. You can connect them with an agent. Um, and so, yeah, I had somebody who just wanted to move to Pensacola, and they were selling in Panama City, which is about 2 hours away from me. And that's normally a little bit further than I would go. So I connected with some agents in Panama City, and we partnered up. Now they've come over to the company I'm with. So it's kind of like a win-win. And then
Yeah.
I gave them the sell.
So if you were, I mean, obviously your videos are based around kind of introducing people to the area. If you were thinking of trying to go towards either a buyer or a seller video, like what would you suggest? What kind of content would you do for like a listing video to try to attract sellers?
So with sellers, what you could do is you could do YouTube videos and run them ads locally. I do not pay for any ads, but you can use YouTube videos to target people. The same people that are in your city watching videos, you would pop up first. Um, as far as seller leads, I think power of video is just as strong. What I would honestly probably do is like, it's the same idea that you want to just give value up front and not ask for anything in return. So I have a friend who does these Facebook videos. I know this is off topic because it's not YouTube, but he literally does these little videos where he says, hey, Pensacola or whatever city you're in, here's 5 tips on how to get your house sold for the most value in this market. And that's it. He just gives 5 tips, does not
Nice.
ask for anything. And it pumps. And anybody who comes across that video that's actually thinking about selling is going to watch the entire thing. And at the end, they're going to be like, this guy didn't ask for anything. He just gave me 5 tips on how to sell my house. And so if they want to hire a realtor, they're going to reach out to that person.
I mean, again, if your page is loaded with great content like you're putting out, I think a seller would see that and say, this guy owns the market. He's got all the buyers, he's got all the information about town. So it's not just the seller mindset, it's the sellers looking at the video saying, this guy probably has all the out-of-state buyers. I think I want to list with him anyway. So putting a couple of those little videos in here and there to your page
Yeah.
would probably be enough.
It definitely adds to, like, if I go into a listing appointment and I show this, it's just an extra component that says like, hey, I've got this huge reach. I do video content, and I do a lot of videos for sellers. I don't necessarily post them on my YouTube channel, but I can show them that I know how to create, content.
But I would think you go to
Um,
a listing presentation and whip your YouTube channel open and say, I've got 35,000 views a month. If the other realtor had it, wouldn't he show you this? Or maybe you should just list with me. If someone's got 40,000 views, go list with them. But where is that guy? Like,
Well,
it's a
yeah,
winner.
I love, sorry, I want to jump in. I love what Levi said. Like, yeah, people selling their house are probably not looking up, location specific things, sadly. Otherwise, you're going to be competing with people with millions of views that have their best home selling tips. But location wise, you're not. And that's very buyer oriented. But what Levi said, which is if you build up your audience of buy side relocation stuff, you can run ads towards sellers. That makes sense. And they could easily see your YouTube and they know you're local. And then secondly, what Trevor was saying, like, you can just enter a listing appointment and just be like, look at the views I'm getting. And not only that, you can enter a listing appointment and have tons of buyers on your wait list, like that you genuinely know are looking to buy real estate. So it's like it it's a massive advantage in this market, in my opinion, to have some natural organic buyers coming through, even with everything going on. I think at
I,
the end of the day, it's going to be a great situation for listing agents to be like, I'm the main man. I got everything covered. So I love that.
I want to show y'all real quick if it's cool.
Cute dog.
That's my that's my dog, by the way. This kind of will like show you. I did this video for a luxury listing, um, downtown Pensacola, and to most people, it would appear that I have a crew I have a tripod standing up. So
That's
see how
great.
it looks like, somebody's filming me. Um, I am I'm just using a tripod. There's nobody with me.
And
And
your
then
iPhone.
yeah, and there's an effect that makes the video pan out, like it pulls backwards. So it's as if somebody's walking with you. So I did this whole video, show off this luxury property by myself. Didn't pay anyone $1,000 or something. It
Through
took me a
video.
half a day getting some cool shots and stuff, but it's a $2.3 million listing.
Now I gotta ask, are you ever gonna get a camera? Or is it just you're locked in with the iPhone and you get it done?
So I don't know. Like,
Because the dude, I mean, this property tour that you're doing right here, I know a ton of people, and don't get me wrong, it's nice to do professional shoots and get it all done. But there's a lot of people out there that are spending, $2
$1,000.
grand to have the photographer come out. They're renting a car, especially there's levels to it. But like this video right here, someone would see it and think, like you said, you're paying someone $1,000 for the day. You're paying someone $500 to edit the video. And it's just like, no, you just did it yourself on your
yeah,
iPhone.
and all these clips, this is my iPhone. I was at the parade. I just pulled out. This is the coffee shop I go to every morning. This is one of my favorite steakhouses that's way too expensive, and I don't go there very often. This is downtown, and again, I have a tripod in front of me, looking like a weirdo. You know what I mean? And that's it. So yeah, I have a buddy who's like a full-time videographer, owns a production company, and I asked him how much he would charge me, and he said $1,000, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'll put in a half a day and save that money.
So like let's
So
go to the nuts and
that's
bolts.
my
Because again, like you've seen these videos, they look great. So like if you're today, you're gonna go out and start a new video. You're grabbing your phone, you're grabbing like what, a lapel mic and the tripod.
Yep. I have the drone because I do feel like it adds like a really cool touch. But I'm telling you, you can get one for $300. There's even cheaper ones than that that could still get the job done.
Buy a
Um,
used one on eBay, secondhand.
they're easier to fly than you think. You don't have to be super techy. They go like straight up and straight over, straight down. And so you can get like a cool pan shot. That's it. I take a bunch of footage. You can watch some videos on like how to get a little bit better, like cinematic, like panning, like instead of like waving your phone all around crazy, you do like straight in shots, straight out. You can like, do side by side shots. That kind of stuff you just get a little bit better with over time. Like my first videos were not that great. I feel like I've gotten better just from playing around with it. But basically, I get a bunch of footage. I will usually ramble and talk. And the thing is that all the magic is in the editing. You can cut out when you're like, you have like long
Right.
pause moments. Let me actually show you guys my iMovie real quick. Is my screen still shared?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Oh, sorry, slacking. Okay, so, that's funny. This is the same video that I was just showing y'all. So it's really easy. The first thing that I usually do is I like to find a nice little song. And you can type in on YouTube copyright free music. That's it. Find a song that sounds cool. If you're talking, definitely turn it way down low. You don't want it to be like obnoxious in the background. And then you're throwing in clips. Like you literally drag and drop. You can shorten the clip. You can cut it. I can hit cut. This is where I know this might look a little like, whoa, that's a lot of, I'm telling you, this is a lot easier than you think. Here's the video of me talking, and I just throw a clip on top of it.
Oh, that's crazy. You can, if you remove that top clip, you can see on the middle thing, that's literally you still walking at the bottom.
Right.
You
Yeah,
just threw something on top of it.
And see how the video is panning in and out? That's just an effect right here, where see it says start end. It's making it look like somebody has the camera
Yeah.
pulling
This
in
is
and
iMovie.
out.
This is the standard iMovie. You get
This is
everybody.
free. This is
Yeah.
100% free.
Yeah.
I've gotten a
Apple
little bit
has,
better with this.
yeah,
There's a
just say,
million YouTube videos on how to use this,
yeah.
right? Free. Um, Once you have all the videos, you're just piecing it together like a puzzle. Like whatever you're talking about, you throw a clip in there. Um, the power is like, don't be inundated with, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to spend a few hours on this. This thing will last forever and continue to produce forever. It will outwork you, 100x. So that's why I'm willing to put in a day on one video and know that'll last forever.
Mhm.
And
Right. You're spending so much time on social media videos. I mean, I know so many people that are spending a couple hours a day putting together videos for TikTok and Instagram, and that video's gone in 48 to 24 to
Yeah.
48 hours.
Over at, sorry, I jumped
Yeah.
in, but over at Actually Agents, and everything we do, we live by high upfront, low back end. So, like Levi was saying, spending that day on the video that lives forever is high upfront. It is so worth it. And then your low back end is, you could constantly be getting new leads. Like Levi's getting 29,000 views every month, hasn't posted in 3 months, and he's got 40 videos. That's his high upfront. It's constantly evolving. And then you have your low back end, which is follow up or weekly newsletters or one of many, whatever that looks like to you and how you structure your business. But yeah, if you, or it's like even with lead magnets and different ways to collect more information from your audiences, everything is high up front. Don't don't be upset that you spent more than 4 hours on something when thousands of people potentially could see it. Because if I'm doing a presentation to a room of 1,000 people, you bet your ass I'm spending more than 4 hours preparing that presentation. So
Right.
like, just try to adjust your time wisely. And it's
yeah,
worth it.
it lasts forever. It's literally the word that they use is evergreen content.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so powerful about it. And again, I've been so busy from this that I've been slacking really hard. I need to get back on it and like keep it going, but I have just been slammed. And so yeah, I haven't posted in like almost 3 months, and that's because I'm just working the leads. But they're still like it hasn't slowed down. That's the thing. Um, it's to the point now where like I am trying to grow more of a team or like distribute some of it out so that I can leverage myself. I'd like to focus more on just churning out videos and divvying out leads.
Yeah. I
It's a
mean,
good dilemma to have, though.
it is, and it comes through. I mean, like, again, like I think if you're doing this kind of thing and you're putting in 3 to 4 hours, you think to make a good video between filming and
So
editing?
maybe a little bit more, just to be honest. I'll spend a few hours filming. The thing is, once you have the content, like you went out and you shot a bunch of cool little clips, you have everything, I'll just work on the video while I'm watching Netflix, or like it's in your home. There's no pressure. You're not on the phone converting, talking to people. You just at your own time. So I might drag it out longer than necessary,
Sure.
but I can work on a video for a couple of days, an hour at a time. You can tweak it. You can be like, don't like that. Or so all in, I mean, yeah, you could spend maybe 8 hours making like a really good video that's 10, 15 minutes. Um,
And if you're already out there, have a decent business. You're already prospecting, you're doing stuff, you're making you do 16, 20, 25 deals a year, 30 deals a year, and you add something like this, it just can the amount of traffic you can bring in, and this is fun. Like getting on the phone's not as fun as making a video and learning editing and stuff. So I mean, if you're already doing that, you've already got a little bit of a business, and you add something like this in, your business can just explode. I mean, like we were talking earlier about our buddy Ken Posick. Um,
Yeah.
He grew a massive team through video, but yet he started his business because he's a telephone guy, so he's prospecting. He's already, he's got sales happening. Then he grows this video thing, and it blows up. And now his team's huge, and it really wasn't an early thought of I'm gonna, grow up to 100-person team or all these things. I'm going to cut out and stop. I'm going to stop, calling expires. I'm going to stop calling physicals. You add this to it, and now you're doubling and tripling your business year over year.
Yeah. I want to add something on Ken Pozek because everyone knows him. We had him on for, I think we've had him on twice, but dude, he's just an average guy. Like he has all this equipment now, but
Right.
dude, he's just an average guy that is living in a great, area. Like, what's it? The Florida with Disney World. I forget what it's called. Celebration,
Orlando.
Florida. Yeah, he's living in Celebration,
Orlando.
Florida. And yeah, he's just a likable dude, puts on a smile, and yeah, he didn't start out with this massive production that he has now.
I love his channel.
Yeah,
he's
cool
doing
guy.
what I'm doing on a high end, like you said, production team, and he's in a massive market, but he's a great person to watch as an example. And I consume his content. I actually enjoy it. Even though I don't live there, I'm not even thinking about moving there. I'm just like, this video is entertaining, and that's the point.
Photography is great. Photography is excellent photography.
Somebody asked in the questions, it was Bob Smith. Does YouTube like long videos or short videos? I do solely long form content, because again, it's just consumable. You're getting somebody hooked on there for a long time. If they watch 10-minute video of yours and then they go to the next 10-minute video, you can just get so much more value in there. The answer is it likes both. Like you could have a channel with tons of short form content, but that's TikTok to me. So I just focus on long form.
So you're not doing much with TikTok or Instagram. Actually, I checked out your Instagram channel. It didn't have a whole lot on there. And I'm like, that seems to be the go-to for real estate agents. We've got to pump the Instagram.
I've got on top of Levi. That's what we're focusing on over at
Greg
our.
will set you straight. Greg and the team will set you straight.
I know.
Yeah, I'm plugged in with those guys because they'll help me. Because I don't do any of that stuff, to be honest with you.
That's usually the realtor, the first go-to. Like, I better make Instagram channels. I better make TikToks. But you went straight. Again, I think just the YouTube just seems like so much work because it produces so many great leads, and you hear everybody talk about the leads they get, the traffic they get. They don't realize. I mean, again, I'm second guessing myself. Like, oh, this sounds great, but well, it's going to be a lot. It's not though. It's pretty simple. I mean,
to me, it's more work to post on Instagram every 2 days,
right?
And think of a long, elaborate, heartfelt post. That's going to attract. Like I just suck with Instagram and Facebook. I'm super inconsistent. I'd rather work on one video, take as long as I want to make it, and once it's done, it's going to just forever work.
So 1 to 2 good videos a month.
I mean, if that, like, here's the thing, in the beginning, you're going to want to build up to the point where you've got at least, 4 or 5 videos.
Guys, give us the first 90 days. Like I'm a new guy. I'm starting out. I just started my channel last week, but I typed it all up, ready to go. I'm ready to jump in there. First 90 days, what should I be doing?
Well, it compounds, super compounding. So in the beginning, yeah, you should really try to push yourself, maybe one every 2 weeks. If you can do one a week, great, but it's time consuming. And so don't like overwhelm yourself. But it's just in the beginning, if you only have one video, people will consume it, but they want to go to the next video. So it continues to compound. Once you've got 15, 10, 20 videos, people are going to go to the next one and the next one. Yeah. And YouTube will pump your content in front of them. That's the way the algorithm works. So, and we all probably are aware of that, right? You watch some cooking show, you watch whatever that is, some blog person. Next time you log on, their next video is in your feed. Even if you don't subscribe to them, YouTube pushes them in front of you. So I know that it works the same way with me. They'll watch 2 or 3 of my videos. They'll log off a week later. They get back on. Another one of my videos shows up in their feed.
Yeah.
So it definitely compounds. Once you can get 10 plus videos, it's going to start pumping way harder. But in the beginning, just try to commit as much as you can. If you can hit a video a week, you'll be rocking and rolling in no time. I mean, and if you can stick to this for 60 to 90 days, it will work. Forever.
Forever. Be dedicated for that. Because I think, again, as realtors, we're always looking for like the instant gratification. So you're saying really in that 90 days, if we can get 2 videos out a month that are quality, that should get us.
I'm not special. Like I'm not, and it's just changed my career. I don't prospect anymore. I think that's the most mind-blowing thing. The only thing that I ever worried about in this industry was where's my next deal coming from. I think that's most of us. And that has literally feels like I'm not worried about that anymore. Um, so it's just crazy. I don't know. It's 7 years in. It's crazy to know like my entire business has shifted.
Right. And that's what I think agents have to get over, is the fact that a little bit of time changes you. Everybody always says, "Oh, this is a game changer. This will change your business." But you're living proof. Like, you were a real estate agent for 7 years. You were knocking on doors. You were making phone calls. And now you're so busy you can't even make videos the last 3 months because you're trying to follow up all your leads. So I mean,
Yeah, pretty much.
that's
And they just keep coming in. Like again, I had a call this morning from a lady coming from Minnesota, and she's going to come in the middle of April. Asked if I could block out a couple of days with her. They want to look at $1 million waterfront properties. That's not every lead. Like, I'm not trying to paint that picture, but a
sure.
lot of these leads are freaking rock solid. Last 2 weeks ago, I helped a guy he was getting stationed at the Navy base down here. He was locked in, like there was no question he was coming here within 30 days. He's like, I got to come find something. I'm going to come in for one weekend. We're going to pull the trigger. Then his dad, who's an investor, was like, well, now I want a property so I can come see my son. There was 2 deals in a week. They're just all over the spectrum. I've got emails that I've got to reply to, text calls. Like, it's wild. It is. It's pretty awesome. It's fruitful. And it's fun. Like you were saying, Trevor, it's kind of rewarding to create some content that you can see and watch over again.
Right.
And all your neighbors and your friends. I've got my people in my family don't even know I have a YouTube channel.
Right. The introverts, it's perfect because, like you said, you're only people who are seeing it or people who are searching for it. It's not like when I put a video on Facebook, all
Right.
5,000 of my people on Facebook are like, "Look, he looks like a dork." Ah, you know, that it's not, and those people aren't buying houses. I'm putting videos on Facebook,
And actually, it's funny you said that, because but that's something I learned is I never share my YouTube videos on my other social media, because you don't want the wrong people clicking it. You share it to all your friends and they click because they're curious, and then they click off, and that's bad for the algorithm. So if you just let YouTube do its thing, people that are actually looking for that content, they're actually looking for the pros and cons, the top neighborhoods, they're going to watch the whole thing, and it's going to help it a lot more better. If you share it to your 5,000 friends thinking, oh, this will help my views, they're only going to click because they're nosy, or they want to see you being weird, or see you fail, or whatever it is. And it's not good for it.
They're not going to watch the whole video. They're going to watch a couple every minute and be like, ah, whatever, and move off. So the strategy here is not worry about subscribers, worry more about content, worry more about giving the best of what you can provide to people who don't live in your area. And again, not scripted. You're just going with bullet points. You're saying you're pretty much the tripod takes you're doing. You have a few bullet points in your head, and then you're walking and kind of, you know what you have an idea what you want to say, and you're just leading into those bullet points and kind of just riffing, sort of.
For sure. Super rambling. And the magic's in the editing. You just cut off, the dead space. I know I have bullet points, but it's just like if you were standing in front of a buyer and they were asking you questions. We can all ramble about our city, about what we like, what we don't like. And that's what I try to do, is authentic. It makes it much easier. Actually, in the beginning, I tried to like script almost the whole thing. It was horrible. Not only did I feel like I didn't seem genuine, but I couldn't remember the scripts. I was trying to like be an actor or something. It was dumb. And so don't do that. Just
I want to touch on that really fast. A lot of agents get analysis paralysis in any form of social media content, including myself. I am not perfect, and I do script my videos now a little bit. Sometimes I wing it, but like, you guys don't understand the power of editing and the way that you can't, like, you don't need to restart the video because you stumbled over a word. You just need to restart the sentence, and it's not going to be weird. You can just get in front of it, talk normally to the camera, and after a couple videos, you're gonna feel a lot more comfortable doing it. And don't get lost trying to script a 12-minute video and trying to buy the nicest camera. And because I know some of you guys will do that, and I've done that myself, that's why I could say it confidently. And it's just,
That
you
that's
know
like that's like working out, right? When we get
yeah,
in, like, we're gonna
yes,
work out, we have to get the Nike shoes, right? Like,
yeah.
that's gonna make us do better. No, like,
Well,
you just gotta do
I
it.
there's this guy, Ali Abdal, which some of you guys might know on YouTube. He's like a productivity guy, just came out with a book like called Feel Good Productivity. And across his YouTube channel, he'll do a video that's like, here are the top 15 most mindset shifts, or something that I learned from reading 600 productivity books. That's an example of something. But then he'll do one of, here are the top 3 productivity tools. And it just outperforms. It's because everyone gets stuck on the tools and the resources, and like, how can I make this perfect? Like Levi said with the shoes, of the Nike shoes, how can I get the best shoes? How can I get the best equipment? And it's just like, avoid it the best you can, and just like try and do something. Everyone's got a phone here. So just make it happen. And then, with Levi, I laugh a little bit because I still can't believe he's using his phone. But, I imagine after all this, he'd want a camera, but he sticks true to his roots. And like, if he can stick true to his
Dude,
roots for that long, then
the iPhone camera is nuts, man. It's got 4K. Like, no, I hear you, Ryan. I hear you. I
no, I
probably
love
will.
it, man. So
I
So
will.
one of the questions that popped up a few times is about keywords and TubeBuddy and all these different things. Are you doing anything like that in your descriptions or in your titles, or are you kind of just kind of doing whatever you think feels good?
Yeah, I do use TubeBuddy, and I used it a lot more when I started, mainly for the keyword search. So basically, what you can do is you can search up keywords or sentences that people are searching, because it'll show you how many people are searching, you know, moving to Pensacola, Florida,
Where
or
do you search
living
those?
on TubeBuddy. It's called keyword search.
Yep.
There's a free version you can use for a while. Of course, I used the free version for a while. I did actually pay for the subscription on that. But that will just help you, so that really helps you with the title of the video, because again, it's search based. So you don't want to name your video something really weird that no one would ever type in, like, I'm an agent and I do great work. Like, no, who would ever search that?
Wait, no one's
You know,
doing that.
people are typing in moving to city, tons. And so that's what you can search, and you can see how well, and that'll help you with the title of the video and how much it's searched. Um, but I'm telling you, the keywords and stuff are not nearly as important as the thumbnail and the engagement. Those two are what will catapult the algorithm. I'm not even saying I'm like an expert at this or anything, but the best example I can think of, some of you guys might know this person, some of you might not. Mr. Beast. He is the number one YouTube channel, period. I mean,
Okay.
like,
come on, who
three,
doesn't know Mr.
Yeah.
Beast?
300 million followers or something, subscribers. He was offered $1 billion for his channel. Like, you have to understand the power of that, right? Think about the Super Bowl. People were paying millions of dollars for 30-second views. Imagine if you have a channel that can get that kind of viewer subscribership. No wonder he was offered $1 billion. You can reach half the world, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, the reason I mention his channel is because he is a master of YouTube.
His
In the
thumbnails and
very
titles.
first, his thumbnails, and then the first 30 seconds of his videos give you everything you're going to get in the video. He tells you exactly what you're about to see for the next 15, 20 minutes. He'll throw in some clips real quick of what's going to come. It pulls you in, and that's why people then watch the entire video. So usually just go straight to it. In this video, we're going to talk about all the pros and cons so that you know what you're doing if you're moving to the city. Boom. Right there, you're telling the viewer exactly what they clicked this video for.
I want to add something. There's no such thing as too long. there's only such thing as too boring. So if, like Levi was saying, on those videos, they click on for the pros and cons, they want the pros and cons. Like, that's why you need to start with just get into it, provide value, because then they're going to go and watch the next video because you over delivered. So don't be worried. You know, you could have a 20-minute, you could have a 45-minute video and it's going to have a great watch rate if you actually talk about and deliver on what you said the title was about. There's no such thing as too long, only too boring. So,
And you're just
Yeah, the
taking the
people.
phone and turn it sideways.
Yes, exactly. If I'm doing up close stuff, it's this cinematic mode. What it does is it creates like where you can click on something and the rest kind of blurs out. It creates a really like movie type look. So that's it. Um, I mean, I'm doing it all on my phone for the and my drone. And then what I love about, you may not be an iPhone person or a Mac person, but what makes it really easy, Ryan, you talked about getting a camera,
yeah.
is because I have a Mac and I have an iPhone, I could come home and I can airdrop all those videos straight to my Mac. It'd be like
Right.
10 gigs of videos. Airdrop is seamless and quick. I don't have to plug in an SD card and wait 40 minutes to upload. You just go to airdrop and it just is on your Mac. Then you can drag those clips onto iMovie while you're over your video of you talking, cut them, slim them down, make them longer, shorter. That's that's it. That is how I do videos.
It's, we overthink it so much. I mean, I've been doing real estate 20 years and I mean, so I'm going to make a YouTube channel and I think about it. I'm like, oh my God, I need 40 cameras and 10 guys following me and script writer and ChatGPT. I mean, it's so refreshing to see a guy who's been in the business, you just said, I'm going to turn my phone sideways and make some videos.
Yeah.
Like we're so overthinking this as like an industry.
Most of my videos are when I'm just out living life. Look, my wife hates it. She's super embarrassed because I pull out my phone now all the time. But that kind of makes it more fun because I just we get to go enjoy stuff. So we go to, like I was saying, the farmers market, the beach, out to dinner, parades, and I'll just be like, "Ooh, cool clip, real quick," boom. And that I just have so much footage like that. I could just go through my phone. I have tons of content of just me living life. Half the time, I'm not even like going out to film specifically. I'm just getting content on my phone that I can use for later for whatever I mention down the line.
Right. You have rolls and rolls and rolls of footage.
Yep.
Just
Like she
just
hates when we get food brought to the table, and I'm like, hold on, don't take a bite.
Yes.
I have to show this seafood to somebody who's moving here.
Oh, dude, that's such a good idea. I need to start doing that, man. The phone eats before you eat. That's
One
the
of my
saying.
favorite parts in a lot of my
you
videos,
eat.
my favorite part is always to like talk about restaurants.
Oh man, I
I'm
need
a
to
big
start
foodie.
doing that.
So I'll be like, by the way, you've got to go here. It is so good. It's authentic. It's local. Like, it's, mm, you know,
But
so
I've got so much footage of maple syrup being made in Vermont. 'Cause I live in Vermont. Like the guy down the street from me makes syrups. My kids go down there, and I got videos of them drinking shots of maple syrup. I mean, that's stuff I could should just repurpose. I mean, we should all be
Yes.
going through our phones and repurposing some of the stuff we have.
and that's a trademark of Vermont. You totally could do that. I was telling you, Trevor, when me and you got on a phone, that my wife has this weird obsession with Vermont. Like we should live there, and whatever. I've never lived out of Florida, but she just thinks it's awesome and perfect and snow and like cozy and fall. But when we look up videos on Vermont, there's not much. And that's actually something I wanted to touch on, guys. When I started my channel, there was already like 3 or 4 people in my market that were sort of doing it. One guy specifically I thought was dominating at the time. He had so many views. And so maybe do not feel like, oh, it's already done. First of all, in any market you're in, you're competing with thousands of agents. Okay. So if you're
Right.
competing with 3 or 4, Come on. Like, like take that limiting belief away. The other thing too that's really powerful is understand people will relate to you for whatever reason it is. Maybe it's because your, gender, your sexuality, just your demeanor. People will always gravitate towards different people. And so even if there's 2 or 3 or 4 other agents already doing it, 10 other agents, people will still relate to you for some reason. People want to reach out to their tribe, if you will. And so just be you, and people will touch base. So don't let that hold you back from starting a channel.
I mean, just like we are now, you're being you. Typically you have start out these Zooms and you lose half the people. We've lost like 5 people and it's been an hour. That's because you're being you. Like most times you go to the Zooms, half the people have gone the first 30 minutes. You're just like a regular guy talking about stuff that you do, just like in your videos. You're like, hey, I go out to dinner with my wife. Hey, I go to the beach. I go to parades. I do these things. And here's me doing them.
I
Like,
think that's actually probably like one of my most favorite parts about starting this channel is I feel a little bit more authentic than I ever used to.
Yeah.
I just feel like I used to dress up more, maybe try to be somebody I wasn't.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that reach out and tell me that they relate to me, I curse every once in a while. Like I like I just feel way more authentic
Yeah.
and a little bit more like laid back, and it works for me really well.
I want to emphasize something really fast. I know we're dragging this on. I imagine it was just supposed to be an hour, but what Trevor was just saying, how people stayed on here for an hour to listen to Levi talk because, he's a likable person. Otherwise, you probably would have left. Is That's exactly what YouTube is. Within 20 minutes of this Zoom, you guys ended up staying because you liked what was going on, okay? If you saw Levi on a 60-second Instagram reel or YouTube short, you might have liked it, maybe saved it. You would have thought, this is cool. Maybe you even skipped halfway through it. But now every single one of you guys, when you think of YouTube and what's going on, are going to think of Levi because he has that long-term investment and this long form format with every one of you guys here. And I think that's the power of long form. Like over to Actually Agents, everything I do, we're very big on how can we get people into a format that is 10, 20, longer so that they end up building trust with us. So when they think of real estate memes or they think of, I want to give a referral out, they think of us and our community and the things we do. So that we're big on how can we funnel people into our long form? How can we get people to digest in something long? Or even for me, I also do these weekly marketing. I'll do like lead magnets and different marketing write-ups. And I do a lot on Now Bam and some of these other media things is I'm big on how can I make someone read 5-10 minutes of this article or this lead magnet and build a connection with me. So like that long form is a huge, huge advantage. So I just want to hit on
Yeah, it
that.
is. It is. People. It's funny because people, when they do reach out or we meet, they're like, "It's so weird. I feel like I know you already." I've never met them, so it is weird. I've even had people be like, "Oh, you said you're from Tallahassee, right?" I guess I did say that in one of my
yeah.
videos, but no, I'm super grateful for everybody on here. Like, I just really like to share it because it really has changed my life in a way. I don't mean to sound dramatic, but like, I don't know, it's really rewarding. Um, if any of you guys want to connect with me outside of this, definitely feel free to, send me a friend request on Facebook, Instagram, or,
I'm gonna
save me in, whatever.
I'm gonna plug. So I already had your link pulled up, Levi. So I put 3 links in the chat. First one is how we met, Levi. I help run a community. I'm sorry, Trevor, I got to shill a little bit
Yeah,
here.
jump
I
in,
help
bud.
run a community. We do weekly masterminds. We had Levi up. I know Trevor. I just saw you in there recently. It's completely free. It's just something we do. We never will charge you anything. And we do these weekly masterminds. James and Austin and a few other people are in here. We're always talking about YouTube and a ton of different things. And if anyone comes up on stage or comes joins us, tell us how you're doing on YouTube. And then second, that's Levi's Instagram. We're going to be working with Levi to kind of try and help his Instagram. It's something we do for free at our mortgage company as well. And we're doing it with Trevor, and that's even how I even met both of these guy. No, I met Trevor through that. But that's you know, a second thing. So definitely follow Levi, and then I plug my own Instagram. So if you guys like me, I'm gonna be
Shameless, shameless
anytime
plug.
anytime we do something with Levi or Trevor or any special guest, I usually post on my Instagram as well. So if you guys find any of this valuable and want to keep in the loop, so perfect.
Yeah,
That's my
and
shill. I
found Levi
appreciate you
through
guys.
I found Levi through Ryan. I mean, so I follow
Yeah.
his content. We chatted. We've been back and forth for
Yeah.
different things for over a couple of years, and with Luca and things. So, it was his
Yeah.
content's great because again, it's relevant and it's just enough to get you excited. When I saw Levi on that little clip, I was like, I'm like, this was like someone put salt on my tongue. I was like, this is tasty. Like, what am I get? I need more salt on the steak here. How do I get a hold of this guy? And I reached right out. Here's a great comment here. One of this is, I mean, Levi, this is just a testament to how much people enjoy your interaction. Brian says, I had no intention of being here at all today. Super glad I did. I'm on eBay shopping for drones right now. Again, that nature
That's
of
freaking
like
awesome.
you're so relatable, and that's what makes the videos so good. So we overthink all of it, and like you're just like, hey, don't overthink it, just do it. You're
It's
into
easy to
action.
be passionate about what you enjoy, right? And so I think that's what, like, half my videos are what I enjoy. Whether it's us being with our dogs, nature, like whatever you're into, guys, that's your thing that you want to push because your passion will naturally come across. You're not trying to sell something that you're not into. And what you don't like, talk about that too. So it comes across so natural for me. I think hopefully it would be the same for other people if you talk about what you like and don't like. And yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a super untapped resource amongst a lot of agents and just such a huge opportunity. And again, I mean, when I say life changing, I know it sounds like dramatic, but it really just kind of has been for me.
My goal with Levi is I want to pimp this guy out. I want to get him on more events. I want to dude, I fucking love Levi. So I appreciate
Right.
every one of you, man.
Right. So, and you guys don't forget to check out Actually Agents. They produce tons of great content. It
Yeah.
was just a funny meme page years ago, and now
Oh
it
yeah.
actually has excellent information. The
Yeah.
Discord is legit. The chatting that goes on in that Discord. I was in there as an anonymous for a while. Now I
Yeah.
actually put my name in there a few weeks ago.
I
But
love it.
that
I saw you. I was
Discord,
like, I know that guy. But
that
no, it's
Discord
cool.
is legit, and
It is,
the
yeah.
amount of content that gets shared and the questions that get answered, plus the referral system they have in there
Yeah.
is ridiculous. It really is good. So there's a lot of things that just happen
Yeah.
from regular people. I mean,
Yeah, once you guys get your YouTube's going, we do a ping so you can get your state roll and anytime a referral opportunity comes up, like Levi said. So with some of the referrals you get through, you can push it through the Discord, find an agent, anything along the lines of that. It's all free. We don't sell anything. The only course we've ever supported is BAM. They're cool. But
yeah, they're good guys. You
yeah.
gotta throw a little bit their way once in a while. They're putting out so much stuff.
They're cool.
So much stuff.
But yeah, perfect.
Last one. I think we're, the last question just seems to be always that, and again, I think I don't believe
Oh,
it either. What is he using for tools? I'm like, he's got an iPhone, he's got iMovie,
yeah.
a
Yeah,
tripod. Like,
The
a
most money
tripod.
he's sorry. You
No, yeah. That's so. I mean, Amazon has all this stuff. The most money, what Ryan was probably going to say, is the drone for
yeah.
$300 roughly. And there's cheaper ones, honestly, that you can get. I think the biggest thing is quality of the video. So the $300 one is like 2.7K, not 4K as you hear. But honestly, 1080p is plenty to most people. That's high quality. So
right.
that's the most expensive thing. The only other thing that you might not want to cheap out on is a mic. As Bob just actually asked, I use the Rode wireless mic. I think I spent a little bit more on that one because it was like 150 maybe. Um, because audio is huge. If the audio sucks, people kind of like, So that also, it's wireless. It allows you to be like super far away from the camera
Yeah.
and sound crystal clear. But there are way cheaper ones. Yeah, I
I
use
bought that
Rode.
one off TikTok, $20.
Yeah.
It probably sounds
And
great.
I
Yeah.
can wait 25, 30 feet away. It sounds awesome. I just got a tripod the other day because I was getting ready to make my videos for YouTube. This was $18 on Amazon. Like
Yeah,
this
I
is
think I
less
got
than
the same
50
one.
bucks right here. Yeah, less than $50. And I already have a phone and I already have a Mac, so I already have an iMovie. What am I waiting for?
So many of us are ready to freaking drop $600-700 on leads that we then have to call. Like, could invest $200 into this and change your life in 90 days.
Yeah. I mean, like Trevor said, dude, I've literally that same exact mic. I think I actually have it. Like that you can go the extra mile, but like at the end of the day, most people film their short form videos on their phone. They use the phone microphone. So if you're up close, if you're doing a tripod, someone asked about what tripod, I'm willing to bet you just went on Amazon and found a random tripod, right?
Good tripod.
Right. Yeah. So it's just a matter of not the equipment. You're going to get lost in the sauce figuring out the equipment. I have right now two different $20 tripods from Amazon. They work amazing. Like the drone you can find on eBay or the one that Levi did. They're you can find popular brands and just like don't overthink it. That's the biggest
Just
thing.
get started.
That's the
Like,
biggest thing.
I'm
So
so
Just get
tired.
started, guys. You can always go back and delete a video later. You know what I mean? YouTube is awesome.
Yeah.
good.
It's not as relentless either as like Instagram. I've never even touched TikTok, but like, and I've been meaning to because you might as well try to do a little bit of it all. But I just hyper focused in on this, and the feedback's been amazing.
Good. It's
Yeah.
been amazing.
I mean, the amount of time you shared today was, first of all, we had our phone call this morning, was like 40 minutes. I'm like, I just feel like we did the whole thing. I mean, we were just chatting away, talking about stuff. And then, of course, you talk about your wife likes Vermont. I'm like, oh, well, we got to talk about Vermont for a minute. But, I mean, this is just, I mean, we're like an hour, 20 minutes into this thing, and people are still hanging out. We're still getting information, but really, it's an iPhone and it's iMovie. I mean, because
Yeah.
someone just asked again, is he using a GoPro? And I'm like, he's got an iPhone on his tripod. Like, that's what he's got.
Yeah. And GoPros aren't expensive either, but I mean, don't overcomplicate it. Just get started. You'll
Yeah.
get better and better. You can still get leads with basic equipment, and just like anything, you get a little bit better. But
Yeah.
I'm underspending for sure, and been a cheapskate in a lot of ways, and it's still just very rewarding and
Yeah, no need to change.
monetarily rewarding as well. But
Tell yourself, if you guys are like me, I wish I did this. I'm looking at $1,000 camera right now that I should not have bought. But tell yourself you're going to do 8 videos before you even think about spending, $300 on something. If that's even a problem, like, dude, I guess you'll laugh. Levi, what, you said you have 8 going into contract and 4 listings being prepared right now? Is that what you said?
yeah, 8 under contract and 4
Is
listings.
that mostly through YouTube and client referrals from that?
All the contracts I think are YouTube.
Boom. Like,
Two,
get a
two of the
contract
list
and then buy the $1,000 camera. All right, guys. Like,
two of the
don't
listings are
overthink it.
Sphere, but
And
yeah.
and that's another thing is I know we're running over, but the I'm I'm in the real estate media side of things. So I'm talking to real estate agents all day. YouTube is a very popular thing right now. And I think one of the reasons a lot of people aren't seeing success is because it's not authentic. Like it is so authentic to go on your phone and it's just like it's not authentic to copy everyone else. You want to be you. You're in the relationship business. And I think that's like again, something that makes Levi's situation so special is the fact that everyone's talking about YouTube, but he's still shining through just because he's just a likable guy that puts on a smile and shows what's happening. And I think that, correct me if
I
I'm
think
wrong, but I think that's the big thing.
I think you're right, Ryan. Like, because I've been toying with at this point, like, do I hire somebody and get like a little bit more professional? But and I might toy with that. But like at the end of the day, then it's almost like, do you become less relatable when you have this big
Yeah.
production crew
Right.
and
Yeah.
you're more of like an actor than just a person that lives here, like a local? So I
I
think there's
literally
some truth
I've
to that.
stopped using my camera because I feel as if it's not personable enough. I mean, this lady, um, Cleo Abrams, she has been blowing up recently and she's kind of like a journalist on scientific stuff. So you could do journalistic type stuff on real estate very easily. There's a lot of mortgage accounts that go up there, but she's got 1.2 million followers. She's got 2.2 million on YouTube. And every one of her short forms is, you can't really see it that well, is filmed on her phone in selfie mode. And there's 1.8 million views, 1.3, 500,000, 1.8. It's all on her phone, dude. She's got the money to do more. And she just prefers, I was listening to a podcast with her and she was just talking about, she films it on her phone because it feels like I'm talking to you. It feels more relatable. It's not like this production thing. And
Staring at a camera, right?
yeah, it's huge. So
Guys, I just dropped the 2 channels in the comments that I give a lot of credit to. They're actually teaching this stuff, content, like, what to post, different topics, and they're both who I give a lot of credit for really kind of kickstarting me. So definitely check those out, and you'll see a ton more value. I actually have to jump on a call here shortly with some buyers, but this has just been awesome. Yeah, it did come from YouTube.
Well, dude, I can't thank you enough for your time. I mean, it's over the top. Between the call today and this has been like 2 hours we've spent today out of your day, and it's like, again, I just feel like we're just hanging out, chilling, which is, I think, what people want. This is the authenticity that people crave. It really does. And Ryan, thank you for connecting us, because it was, a random text that I threw out. I was like, Ryan, this Levi guy, you got to hook me up. What is, for me, I was at first, I was like, I just want to talk to this guy because I'm overthinking it. And then we thought, why
yeah,
should we just stick it to just me? Let's let
no,
everybody know about it. And
I want to pimp Levi out, man. That's
yeah,
my
yeah,
goal.
exactly.
So,
I don't do the
I
pimping, Ryan.
yeah,
Just
all
joking.
good.
Yeah, thank you guys for real.